Hola, buenos dias. Today is day 12 of our South America trip. Still in Ollantaytambo, I started the day with a hearty breakfast. I then booked an Uber from the accommodation to my next destination. Today I will be heading back to Cusco, but I wanted to squeeze in a couple more spots since I have more than enough time to do so. I booked a tour via Get Your Guide that covers Moray, Maras salt mines, and Chinchero weavers from Cusco back to Cusco. And since they'll be coming from Cusco and I from Ollantaytambo, I will just meet the group at the Maras landmark. Downside of it, I will be missing on the Chinchero weaver stop. The ride from Ollantaytambo to Maras took around 40 minutes. Now on board the shuttle with the group and entering the town of Maras. Maras is one of the most visited towns in the SacredValley of the Incas. The town is known for a couple of attractions, Moray and the Salineras de Maras, which we will be both visiting in a while. Our first stop, Moray Archeological Complex. Moray Archeological Complex consists of Inca ruins including 3 circular complexes. These agricultural terraces look like amphitheaters, with each terrace having its own microclimate. The terraces are formed by circular depressions. The purpose of these depressions was to create different temperatures that enabled the Incas to study the effects of different climate conditions on crops and its cultivation. The site also has an irrigation system. These support the main theory of Moray's purpose, it being an agricultural research and experimental site by the Incas over 500 years ago. Some other theories of its purpose are it being an Inca ceremonial center, second, it is an open pit mine, and lastly, it is an alien landing site. After some explanation from our guide, now it's time to see the terraces up close. Do note that Moray is part of the Cusco tourist ticket. From Moray, we're now off to Salineras de Maras, but first, a pit stop at this shop.
Yo voy a try to break this, van a probar mis amigos con todo lo que están viendo por acá. Son sales que tienen diferentes sabores y van a probar justamente con la papi.
Here are different varieties of flavored salts that you are able to sample with the chips provided. They also have chocolate samplers too. Now we're en route to our next stop, Salineras de Maras, or the salt mines of Maras. The Salineras de Maras is made up of more than 3,000 natural salt wells. Each well has a dimension of 5 square meters. These 3,000 pools are fed by a hypersaline underground spring that originated 110 million years ago during the formation of the mountains of the Andes Mountains. The Salineras de Maras are worked by the inhabitants of the town of Maras and the local communities. Each family has a certain number of pozas which are worked and distributed with the different markets of Cusco. Ownership of salt pools is inherited from generation to generation. To produce salt, the salt miners fill their ponds a couple of inches, then let the water evaporate for about 3 days. The process is then repeated for a month, producing around 3 to 4 inches of salt. Each well can produce 150 to 200 kilos of salt per month. Salt production mainly takes place during May to October, the dry season. Entrance to Salineras de Maras costs 10 Peruvian soles and is not part of the Cusco tourist ticket. now we're headed back to Cusco. This time, I'll be staying at an 18th century colonial house restored to become a boutique hotel. Let's do a tour of the place. The change in altitude took a toll on me. From Ollantaytambo's 2,792 meters to Moray's 3,300 meters to Cusco's 3,399 meters, I felt cold and had a headache, so decided to rest for a couple of hours. After resting for a bit, I stepped out for dinner, searched and found a Chinese restaurant nearby. Then went to Choco Museo for dessert. I went back to the hotel, had a cup of tea to end the day, hoping that tomorrow I'll feel much better to take a class or two. Buenos dias! I started the day with a delicious breakfast. I was still feeling unwell. I decided to take it easy, so I just stayed at Starbucks while waiting for my friends to arrive in Cusco. Our last to do before we fly out of Peru is to look for the best picarones in town. These are picarones, a Peruvian dessert that's quite similar to donuts. Picarones are one of the favorite desserts by Peruvians and considered as one of the most traditional Peruvian pastries. This delicacy is made from pumpkin and sweet potato, bathed in chancaca honey. We ordered some for takeaway and we loved it, not too oily with the right amount of sweetness and crunch to it. It was delicious even without honey. On the way back to the hotel, we witnessed a centennial celebration of a school in Cusco. This officially ends the Peru leg of our South America trip. Exploring Peru in less than a couple of weeks is not enough because there's so much more to see. But what we saw and experienced were once-in-a-lifetime ones. One for the books, one for the memory bank. Again, grateful for the opportunity to be able to do this. For now, we bid Peru goodbye and off to another adventure, this time to Bolivia. Thank you for watching!